Hello and welcome, dearest. I'm Grandma Mimsy. I don't know what happened with the other part, so this is part 2. We're going to continue on. There was an interruption, and then with the interruption, I don't know what happened, but the video was no longer recording, so there we go. And where I was trying to pick up back, because when you're doing things, in the nail stamping process, it's kind of like anything else. If you're trying to write or create something, or you're in that zone moment and you get interrupted, it's sometimes hard to get back, which is why at work, when you get interrupted, those interruptions delay you and prolong what it is that you're doing, and makes or creates havoc in what you're trying to accomplish through the day. So there you go with that. I'm going to grab a few of these so I can share. Yeah, they're ones that just want to make sure. Yep, they're ones that I have already primed with a base layer, because polish and plastic don't always go together. So back to what I was sharing. So if you are skilled at or feel confident at being able to paint your nails on a base level for the base coat, you've done all your pre-treatment base coat processes before this, then you're going to want to continue on with your art. If you are not good at painting your nail and making mistakes or other things that you feel do not do the process that you want it to be for the level that you want to be, again, you're a beginner at this, so you want other options to have a nice finish on things, then you can use this square. And again, this is an ever gliding, because let me finish this before and then you put it down over your nail. And I will do that again to show you. See, if you do it quickly, it sticks, and there's nothing that you really need to. And that's what the sticky part is for, to clean off your stamper. You clean off your stamper with sticky tape, sticky pages, lint rollers. You do not use acetone. You do not use alcohol. You do not use anything other than when they may not seem like they're working or in the first use. You can use Dawn liquid, dish liquid. So, and after you get your plates, brand new plates, they're all going to have this blue film on them, this plastic cover. You want to take that off, because you need to be at the shiny metal part. So again, grab one of these. We'll do this quickly so you can see the process. Is you're going to lay down your paint on your canvas, stencil, if you want to call it for that. The angle that you're going to put this in depends. So it's pretty much, you can hold it like this, or this, but against the plate, it's not going to be this scraping like you're scraping ice off a windshield. It's going to be at a very light. See, if you go too hard, you dig into the level of the, and if it's not level, the blank spaces will leave the etching marks of that. And you want to make sure that's the other reason you want to clean off again, it's ever so slightly a gliding across, because you just want to take off the polish to that one level. And if you're not doing it, if you don't get the polish on there just so evenly with the scraper, you get these little blotches that don't, but those are easy enough to fill in. So then you're going to, with your nail on your finger or your tips, lay it down. I kind of tend to rock in different directions, because you want to make sure you get even pressure contact with all of the surface. I wouldn't recommend this on your nail, but because it's thin and it's on this hard surface and it's pretty much dry, because of the time I took to do that. See, and if you kind of mess up, if you have little remnants, the reason I said don't worry about it is because there's always something you can fill it in with. Whether that's a multitude of ways. So now we're clean again. Okay, so you have your base coat. You're now at the point where you want to create art. This is the canvas with which you are going to put your designs on. So I'm going to clean this off really quick because semi-wet, I mean, it might be dried, but it's not completely, gone through the full air drying process so that it's hard and crispy. And it's much easier to get off your plate. Remember, you've got the edges, the little gaps here. So you're going to clear that off and set your plate aside to go with your artwork design. And then let's see what other shades I have. I don't know how well that one's going to show up, but we'll see. What do I have else? I didn't grab any others really quick. Okay, and as I'm not sure if you can see on this, but as I tilt the plate, if there's any, kind of, let's see, it's not showing up really clear in what I can see, but what I can see in real life is there's these little specks of sparkles, and that's because if your polish has some sort of hollow to it, in the imagery of things, these little specks can get lodged in there. So I'll show you on how to clean those up later on. And move that out of the way for a moment. Let's see. You can do one tiny, small, large. Let me see. Now, once you've picked up your image, and I'll do that again in just a minute. I'm just trying to get these picked up so that I can, on the stamper, so that I can show you what I'm referring to. So I know that seemed like, oh my gosh, what'd you just do? That was super quick. I got it. I totally have where your brain is going right now. Okay, so I'm going to go. So you've covered your image. You're going to take your scraper. It's going to be slightly over the top. And how you scrape down, sideways or topways, does and can have an effect. See, I didn't get a good pickup on that one. We're going to do that again. It happens to the best of us. So it's a matter of be comfortable in your seating, have your body supported, breathe, exhale all the icky juju. The plate, the polish, the image, everything that you're doing has an effect. So again, gentle scrape across your design. How you pick up. See, there you go. We got the polish. We got the pickup. Okay, next. And I turn it over for a reason. Because if something's at the top, the angle of what you have to go to scrape isn't always as comfortable, or you're not going to get the best results if you're doing something that is awkward and kind of like going through this way. So turn your plate upside down, turn it sideways, turn it whichever angle you feel you need to turn it to make sure you are getting the best results. So again, you're going to hold your plate Sometimes it's easier to do it this way, so you have a very light touch. Scrape across. And when you see me do it, it's going to be like, you're hearing all these things. It's I've done this long enough that I can get really good results. See, I didn't get enough scraping. So the idea is you're getting the layer off the top so that the polish that is in the grooves basically is the only thing left available. And when you push down with the jelly squisher thingy, it goes into those grooves, kind of squishes down in there and grabs that image. But I can clean that up. It really doesn't matter. So now I'm going to show you again. You are taking your stamper and you are doing what is considered kind of a roll. You go top to bottom, bottom to top, left or right, whichever way works for you. There are some people that just go, and there you go. Kind of doesn't work for me, but hey, that's just how it works for me. And if the Hulk smash where you're just putting it down and letting it do, you don't want to do really hard, but if you're putting it down and kind of smushing in there and that works for you in the beginning, then by all means, do what works for you in the beginning. So here's where we did this, and what you then, like how I was saying that if you wanted to get enough stampers and you can do all your designs ahead of time, then you do the sticky base, and you can come in with this, paint your nail, paint your tip, paint whatever your surface is that you think you're going to need to have that on in between your steps, because you want to let this completely dry before you move on to step 2. And then as you take your base, next thing, if you've come into contact potentially with any other polish, so if it's your top coat, your base coat, your sticky thing, your colored, you're doing whatever things, anytime that your brush could potentially come into contact with another polish or treatment of any sort, you see that if I put that directly in, that would go into my bottle. And I hate to use contaminate, but it will contribute to the decline of how well your products work. So if you think you got something on there and you want to get it off, see, there's a little tiny speck right there. You can do that. Make sure that this is dry so you're not putting polish remover in there, because that will also degrade your products. And now that it's dry, you can put it back in. Protect your tools. So we've now done that. It's had time to dry. Oops. I didn't get a very good pickup with that one, did I? No, I didn't. So now you take your image and tape. I thought I had a little piece around here, but I don't know what it fit. So basically, if you go around this, you can use your scraper, but that takes practice for people to feel comfortable doing that. But you take off the edges, because if you have these around, you're going to get them within your artwork, and sometimes picking them up, cleaning them up is not going to be the easiest thing. So turn this around to which way you think is going to fit, whichever way you think is going to be the design that you want, and you lay it down and do the same rule, where you are putting pressure and sliding things around. And I don't know if that's going to show up real well, but see, there's the design. So you are putting the polish down, you're scraping the excess off. The image in between the grooves is going to hold on to the design of the polish. You're going to use a stamper to bring that up, and from the stamper, then you're going to put this on your nail. And let me do one of these to show you. So if you don't have a shade, oh wait, I don't have to do that. This is what I can do. So if in my suggestions you have done all your steps, you decided I'm going to do the assembly line, I'm going to get everything ready to go, you have not polished your nails, you have not done anything Now you go through and do your treatments and wait your time. Do the things you can, in the process of getting to where you want to do the application. Now you take and you have wet polish because you've done either method with the block or you've just applied it. See how lovely this is? This is a beautiful shade where it's sheer and looks clear, but then yet has, and that's cloudy. So now we're going to give this a minute to let it dry. You're not supposed to wave because that adds air pockets, potentially getting little bubbles that can do things. I have a tiny little fan over here I have it in front of, so that can kind of help to dry things. You want to make sure that to the touch it is tacky, sticky tacky. And then you can come through, see, and those smudges areas where it's too much, that's not going to show up because this is just going to be. So you line it up where you want, basically right here at the cuticle edge. You want to go just a smidge past because remember, you're going to have this covered. So, and if you don't want to cover it, there's ways to clean it up. So right there to the edge, you're going to lay it down, do the smoothing, the side, the rock and forth, back and back. There you go. Oh, look, it's so pretty. See how that goes? And cloudy and the raindrop. Is that what this is? Yeah. Raindrop and cloudy. Oh, look at that combination. That pops. That looks so pretty. So now you have this whole art design. And it took you, 2-3 steps. It is super easy if you're doing this, and if you want to do this one nail at a time, that's okay. You do your stuff, put your colors down, do your one nail, go and get your design. By the time this is drying, then you pick up this and you go bing, bang, Bob's your uncle. I mean, that is how you stamp. It is polish, scrape, stamper, apply. Now, after you've let this sit for a minute, you want to use a top coat. And this is where the smudge free comes in. And where'd my little bottle go? Right there in front of me. So now, you've given this a minute or two, depending on the thickness of the polish, the type of polish, giving it a good, at least a minute. 60 seconds. I know it seems like a really long time. And trust me, your impatience will grow as you do this. So you put your smudge-free over the top, and that protects the image. And again, if you put something else over the top that's a top coat that it does not have a smudge-free formula, those squiggles won't be squiggles, they'll be blurs of things. You won't see the definition of the curves of how things are. Isn't that nifty? Woohoo! We're having fun. So there's that. Now to deconstruct is really simple, but might not be for some in the theory of things. So it just takes a minute to learn how to do these things. That's what I did with that. So I've got this off. I have my little piece of tape. I'm going to do this image right here. And the thing is, where'd my glue go? And I'm not going to use a whole lot of polish because I'm going to take away those edges. So I don't really want to have to fight with taking away so much. So now you're going to, again, scrape. Sometimes you can, do that in multiple directions and that will help you to get a cleaner. But remember, your scraping is a very light touch. So we got a nice little pickup on that in all those images. But the thing is, I don't want all that. I just want a little bit. So you're going to take your, and if you have something to hold on to that you can see through to make it easier, now you're going to take away and just gently pull that. Because if you pull, this becomes like a latex where it all becomes connected. And if you pull too much on some of these larger images, you're going to get where it pulls away more than what you wanted to. So just go slow. You have time because you have your sticky base coat. So I'm going to pull away all this section that I don't want the extra part to be. And I now have something that I have isolated, a very tiny, tiny part. And then you come in and you just, nope, I need to do a little bit more. A little bit more around that section right there. And then you can just do like this. If you wanted to turn it into like a French tip, see it's not sticking? Guess what? That's what we have our sticky base for. Got some of it, but not all of it. I wanted it to be a little bit different, but hey, I talked too much. And the lines were very thin and they dried really fast. Faster than what I could get things in there. So let's do this again. Let's do this with a different part, and we won't talk as much so that we can get the images that we want. And let's just say I want that one image. I'm going to change to something different. We're just going to do that area right there. I'll clean that off. Where did the one I was using? Oh, I put it over there. Okay, so put this one over here so I can easily pick it up. See, that's why I like this stand. Then I can throw things over there and hey, it's great. Got the little flyaways off. Move this back out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, I already put that down. Oops, let's hope it didn't dry. Hope it didn't dry too much. It didn't. So I got not the section I wanted. So we'll try again. But isn't that cute? Okay. Okay, so we're going to come back in. I want this big section right here. So I'm going to go a little bit farther up there. Always close your polish. You don't have to close it all the way, but close it as much as you possibly can so you don't spill and it doesn't dry out. There are things you can get to fill in and to rehydrate it, but your polish really isn't the same. So now I'm going to kind of go around the edges here of the sections I don't want. And again, you can use tape to do this. This takes just a little bit more practice where you get comfortable with being able to do the scraper. So don't feel bad if you're not. It's okay. It took me a while to get comfortable with it as well. So which way do I want to go? I want to go this way. Right there. And out of all of that, I just picked up that one little piece so that it will fit my nail. And the key to this is that you're not going to be able to watch this one video one time and go, okay, I'm going to sit down and do it. But you can sit down and try. Just practice. And that's the whole thing. Like they say, the best location. Real estate, it is on that right corner where things flow. Practice. Practice doesn't make you perfect. It makes you better than what you were before. But nobody's perfect. As you saw, I made mistakes too. So just attempt at it. Find polish that is on sale. Maniology has things on discount all the time. Maniology has extra special codes that you can get. You can use mine, which is Grandma M. You type it in the little box. It'll save you 10%. Thank you to those who do use my code and help me out that way. But there's all kinds of things. Like there's a Black Friday sale coming up. There will be more sales as we get towards the end of Thanksgiving. There will be clearing out the warehouse sales. There will be Christmas sales. There will be New Year sales. There will be Valentine's sales. There will be Easter sales. There will be St. Patty's Day sales. There will be spring sales. There will be holiday in the months of June, July, August, pre-Halloween. back to where we are now in a year. So at this point, there will always be sales to get you an inexpensive color that you may or may not like that you can use just to practice with. There you go. And once you kind of get the hang of it, it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you figure out the flow of it, and relax into the patience, and for me, it is a zone kind of thing. It's not only zone, but Zen, Z-E-N. I get into kind of this mindful state where everything else fades away, and I'm concentrating on this. I'm not worrying about my problems. I'm not worrying about the to-do list. I'm not worrying about any other issues that may be affecting my day, as long as the neighbors are quiet and it's not bugging me. And when I'm able to do my nails, whether it's in a video or in art that I want to prep for doing something specific, doing my actual mani, which I haven't been able to do on a regular basis, and I'm not going to be able to do on my own hands for a little while, but that's okay. I can do some things here and there occasionally, but I can't keep them on all the time. I did have some nail breakage, and I'm still having nail breakage. I broke this one yet again. I've cracked a few others, so I'm going to have to trim things down. We're just kind of going through some things right now where we're just not so much what I have on my nails, but playing in the art of it does help keep me from having more bad days, if that makes any sense. It does help me and my emotional spirit connection of everything that I hold dear. Allows me to be able to be better at the things that are going on that I do need to take care of. So please be kind. Please be the best human I know you possibly can. Work on you, and don't worry about people pleasing other people, because the only people you can please is you. You can be mindful and careful and attentive to others as best you can, but it is not your job to make anybody else happy. That's their job. And it's your job to comply with their requests, to not do things that would be offensive or harmful. And that's a gray area if we won't even tackle that question. I'm not saying that you have to bend over backwards to do things to make other people happy, because, hey, if you do something, then it upsets the other person. But there are behaviors that you do that can be disrespectful. Don't do those. Remember, the everyday person out there who's the cashier, who's the person that sweeps up and cleans up and mops up and takes out the trash and does all these things in all of these restaurants and places that provide services for us that you call up over the phone or whatever the case. They're just trying to do their job too, and 9 times out of 10, these are people who are not in a position of power or control to have anything to do with the reason why you're upset and you're yelling at them. So please don't take out your frustrations on those who cannot help you. Also, do not let those who are part of the Misery Loves Company Club recruit you, because they're always recruiting. Don't jump in with them. Try to stay on the other side of that, because I know the world needs more love and kindness. I love you. I appreciate you, all those who have followed along on my journeys of these things. We are off to the next section of how you can use these things and more tips and tricks. God, I have trouble saying that all the time, and I don't know why. In using your plates and using all these new good things that you have, that don't let all of this overwhelm you. These are to give you the guidance and the understanding of how to use these things. Both Maniology and other creators like myself are doing videos all the time to help you share with this. There's plenty of videos out there. Just keep watching the videos. Watch the videos, stamp along as you go. Don't worry about if you mess up. Just keep trying, and you'll get it. And then you'll be along with the rest of us, following every Tuesday for the live to go ooh and ah with all the new stuff that pops out. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.